Lokesh sir, and he is an English teacher and grammar teacher. So let's interact with him. Hi, Lokesh sir, how are you?
Hello, brother. I'm Tiktibu, doing great. What about you?
Yes, yes, I am also fine. So, Lokesh, can you a little bit introduce about yourself? That where are you from and what do you do?
Yeah, of course. My name is Lokesh Chaudhary. I'm from Muzaffarpur, Bihar. I have taught in Delhi Public School for more than 5 or 6 years as an English teacher.
Okay,
And currently, I'm working for American Express in Gurgaon. And that is all. Today was my off, so I'm here with you.
okay. So, thank you, Lokesh, for coming. So, today, let me tell you the topic. Like, what is the topic? Like, we will ask some questions from Lokesh. Okay, and he would be answering all the questions. Okay, so Lokesh, like, I have a very important question because whenever I talk with people who want to learn English, okay, so they have a very specific question, that is grammar important to speak well, fluent English and to speak English confidently? Is grammar really important in our life in terms of English and communication skills? Can you throw some light on this topic?
Oh, yes, of course. I will share my personal experience regarding it.
Uh,
There was a time when I was also in the very beginning age, and I also used to think the same that yes, for speaking a kind of accurate English, I must know grammar, and that is correct. Grammar is, of course, very important. If you want to speak accurate English, if you want nobody to question on your English speaking regarding grammar or regarding any kind of inaccuracy,
uh,
then definitely grammar is important. But yes,
okay.
when you are in a learning phase, at that point of time when you try to take both the things together, like grammar as well as your accuracy, fluency, means
Uh,
if you try to be perfect from the very beginning, this is
uh,
impossible. So for speaking English, there is no need of minding on grammar. You first
okay.
mind on your rate of speech. It should be fast, it should be effortless, and it should be fluent, of course. Even if you speak wrong, that's not a matter. But in the very
Okay.
beginning, in the initiation,
Mhm.
grammar is not important for speaking, of course.
Okay, so like you said that grammar is not so important. So Lokesh, like my question is, what about the beginners? Okay, who have just started, like who they are from different background, might be from a Bengali medium background, from a Hindi medium background. So if they want to speak a good English, so how they will get started? Because if they will not learn grammar, so how they will speak English? Because basic grammar is required, right?
No, I personally don't believe that even basic grammar is also required,
Okay,
because English is not any subject where you have to learn the formulas to learn it.
okay,
It's a language. And
okay.
if you remember your personal language, I mean the native language,
Uh-huh,
For the people of Calcutta who are native,
uh-huh,
for them Bengali is there. For the North Indian people, most of the people have their mother tongue as Hindi.
uh-huh.
So first we have to think and we have to understand the process of learning of our native language.
Okay,
Did we learn any grammar to learn our native language? Of
no.
course, never. We
Uh-huh.
just spoke. In the very beginning, we spoke wrong. And
Okay,
then, as we grew up with the time, many other people who were better than us in that particular native language of us,
uh-huh.
they corrected us. And then, with time, we kept correcting us. And at the present time, we are
Uh-huh.
all very fluent in our native language. So, there is no need of grammar in the beginning. And for the beginners, I would say just speak, always talk to somebody who is better than you in English, so that when
Okay.
you speak something wrong, they can correct you. Never repeat your mistake, and never ever lose any opportunity of speaking English. And of course, many people use a lot of fillers while speaking. They speak
Uh,
like oh, and like it happens because they keep thinking at the time of speaking that what they have to
okay.
speak. Most of the
Uh-huh.
people translate. So,
Mhm.
of course, they should simply go and speak. You have to speak even the wrong English, that does never matter. But yes, it must be spoken fluently without using any kind of filler and flawlessly. So, it will be possible in the beginning once you speak without thinking about being correct.
Okay. Okay, fine. Like as you said that the grammar is not so important. Okay, but Lokesh, for example, in market when you will go, you will see a lot of courses. Okay, especially English courses. Okay, so like I was having one of my friend. Okay, so he paid more than 30,000 rupees. Okay, and he bought an English course. Okay, and after that, when he went and bought, and they took classes for 3 months, and in 3 months they taught them only grammars. Okay, so like what you want to say to those person who are already learning, okay, from morning to evening, means they want to speak very better English, and when I ask them that what do you do to learn English, Okay, they say that from morning to evening I just learn a lot of grammar, past tense, present tense, I read write a lot of vocabulary. So what's your point to them, like what advice you would like to give who are learning grammars every day, how they can become better, and should they learn, should they stop, or should they buy that kind of courses? What's your point of view on this topic?
Yes, I will say, first of all, they need to understand that the people or the institutes or the so called teachers who have made English speaking their business, they will always drag you out for a very long time in order to teach you grammar. They will let you
uh,
know that if you speak something, you speak wrong, and that is not a good English. For speaking correct English, you need to learn grammar. That is doubtlessly correct, that we need to learn grammar. But in the
uh,
learning grammar and try to put up all those rules of grammar you have learned in your speaking,
uh,
that really messes up. And in the beginning, nobody learns effectively. As you said
okay,
about your friends
uh,
experience, a lot of money still, I believe he would not have been so fluent, or he would not have got the
yeah.
expected result what he was expecting. So never ever
Yes.
buy such kind of courses, don't never go to such teachers, because the people who have made the business, they will always make this English speaking learning course very long,
um,
maybe for
uh,
90 days, maybe for 60 days. Many people
yes.
say they will teach you within 30 days, but I personally believe that 7 to 15 days are enough to learn English speaking. But yes, your
uh,
way must be different than the traditional ways, because when you have the same ways, you keep getting the same results. So, of course, never ever go to any kind of institute, any kind of teacher who always focuses more on grammar than on fluency. I I had never gone to any teacher to learn English speaking because there were no teachers available in my area. But still, I learned
okay.
it by myself. So I know the best way of learning grammar. Just speak. The main problem is
Okay.
your hesitation. You keep thinking that if I speak something wrong, somebody would
uh,
listen, they would laugh at me, and many other things. So, without thinking about these things, being very natural, very easy with English, considering it
uh,
as a language like your native language, when you go to
uh,
learn, when you go to speak, then you never need any kind of a special grammatical course. Grammar is only important in writing examinations or writing in English. But when it
right,
comes to speak, you have never to start with grammar. You have to
right,
start with speaking. Speak as much as you can. The only thing which is very important is the person to whom you speak, or the company, whatever you have, where you speak English or practice your English, that
uh,
company or that person must be better than you, so that when you will be speaking something wrong, the person will
uh,
correct you, and you should
right,
note down all those corrections so that you will not repeat those mistakes. But in the very beginning, just try to speak fast. Don't think much, just speak fast. And even after knowing the correct way of speaking, speak
mm,
as wrong as you can, no problem.
okay,
The more wrong you will speak, the more
uh,
corrections you will get. So it's, of course, a kind of free learning without going to any teacher. And for
okay,
speaking, we never need a lot of grammatical terms to learn. For speaking, there are some basic rules of grammar,
uh,
some basic rules
okay,
of types of verbs, helping verbs, and
uh,
tenses. And of
mm,
course, many people also use passive voice, active voice. So only these
yes,
three or four parts are there, which are very important. Once you learn all these parts, you can very easily speak. You would have seen there are many teachers who are really very great in the terms of knowledge, but when it comes to speak, they are also not so good at speaking. They can't speak so fluently. So in
uh,
the beginning, if you are learning and focusing on grammar, it is not so easy to learn English speaking fluently, accurately, with going all together with learning grammar. It's impossible,
uh,
almost impossible, I will say. Only a few miracle
okay,
boys or miracle people or god gifted people can do that. But normal people like us, they never should work on grammar in the beginning. Just speak with somebody better than you, so that you can be
uh,
corrected. Keep a note, mark all your mistakes, never repeat
mm,
them, and so on. So, speaking is the best formula for learning how to speak English. Instead of working on grammar and thinking about right and wrong, speak as much as possible, and no problem if you speak wrong. Never shy, because the people who are
okay,
mocking at you today, they will all be eluding from you. There would be a time once you don't give up. So, without being
uh,
discouraged, just go on.
Yeah, right. Okay, fine. I think Lokesh have gave a lot of good answers. Okay, because I always keep on hearing from people. They say that grammar is required, and they sell courses like take my grammar classes, and you will become a very good speaker. And as one of my friend have paid 30,000, and at the end, what he got a big book copy and a book. Okay, in which all the grammar things he have wrote. At the end, he is unable to do debate with me. He is unable to talk on topic with me. So then I said, it, why you wasted 30,000 rupees? I haven't wasted a single penny and I learned English. And I have a lot of people, they are speaking English and you have wasted 30,000 rupees. Okay, so this was all about to today, Lokesh. The topic was very good. Okay, it was all about grammar, and hopefully you have gave the best answer. And it was one of the unique answer. It was not like all the teachers' answer because they say that grammar is required, and they tell that join the courses and do these things. And as simple answer you gave, that just talk with people and talk with people who are more effective and efficient than you. Thank you so much. And at the end, one more question I would like to ask you. Okay, that what is the advice? I mean, that two, three advice you would like to give to people who are listening you. Okay, because who are listening you, they definitely want to become very great in English. They want to speak very good English. So, very summarize. Can you give only 2 to 3 points which will take them from beginner level to advanced level? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really very good question, and I would, of course, like to give a very succinct answer. So, in a
Uh,
nutshell, I would say the first thing
uh,
is, and of course, it's not the first; it's the most important thing. You have to train your brain to think in English fast. Even if your brain
okay.
thinks in English wrong, that's completely fine. Whatever you see, whatever thoughts come in your mind,
Uh,
everything must be thought all the times in English in your mind. The
okay.
problem is that people keep translating the things from their native language to English and it makes
Uh,
them falter. So, if you want not to use fillers, if you want to be fluent, train your brain to think in English fast.
think
Second
in
thing
English.
is
One point.
always
Think.
always speak English as much as you can without thinking about being right or wrong. But one
Okay.
condition should be there, that the person to whom you are speaking should be better than you, should be able
Okay.
to correct you at every point of time. Your company must be
Okay.
better than you, only then you will grow. Otherwise, you will only be practicing the knowledge you have already learned, but you will never learn
Okay.
anything new. So these are the two things, and I think everything depends on only these two things. Never ever think of grammar.
Okay.
We all already know ABC, we all know words, sentences, and everything, and that is enough.
Uh,
That is more than enough to learn English speaking. How does a kid in
okay.
England or America learns English
Hmm.
so fluently at the age of 4 and 5? They never
Uh,
go to learn anything of grammar. Still,
mm-hmm.
they speak.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to follow the same way. They are also
Mm-hmm.
corrected by their parents, by their elders and teachers, and then they speak
Mm-hmm.
better with the time. Like
Yes,
from
right.
5 to 10 years age, I think until 10, you will see most of the native English speakers, kids, they all speak very
Uh,
good English. They never make a mistake only because
uh,
they have been in a better company. Their parents know
mm-hmm.
better than them, their teachers know better than them. They keep speaking wrong in the beginning, but as they are corrected, they keep correcting themselves also with the time. And maybe in a few years, they become fluent. So we
Got
do
the
not
point.
need so many years, but still think in English, train your brain to think as fast as you can in English, and always talk with somebody who's better than you. Get corrected and never repeat your mistakes. That is all. There's nothing. It's not a rocket science. English is the easiest language to learn.
Yeah,
Of
right.
course, it is.
Okay. Uh, okay, fine. So I think we should end our video. Okay, and Lokesh have gave a lot of good points that how can we improve English and how can we like how much grammar is important. I think hopefully all the confusion is cleared in people mind. Thank you so much, Lokesh, for coming. And let me end the thing. So, do you want to say something?
Nothing more. Pranam to all the audience and you. Take care, guys. Stay happy and always speak English. Think in English all the times. That is all. No more rocket science. It's very easy. Take it easy.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Pranam.